Function notation looks kind of odd. It's something that you haven't necessarily seen before. But if you stop and think about what it means, it's really not all that bad. So, the example they give down here is f of x, which is the way I read this. This is not f times x. F of x equals 3x minus 1 is the same as y equals 3x minus 1. So the f of x notation just means y. When they say, here's my equation, as long as it's a function, I can change that now to f of x equals 2x plus 4. The y just gets replaced with an f of x. The cool thing with the f of x notation, instead of just using y, is f of 3 means, hey, what does this equal when x is 3? So what does y equal when x is 3? You can't do that with normal x and y notation. So f of 3 means to take the 2 and then replace the x with 3. So 2 times 3 plus 4, which is 6 plus 4, which means f of 3, and I would want to see this in your final answer, equals 10. I don't do anything with the 3. Some people, again, want to divide both sides by 3 at this point, or want to say just f equals 10. No. When I put 3 into function f, I get an answer of 10 out. That's really what that means. Sometimes, as it says, we don't actually have an equation for something. We don't have an equation for this red sort of zigzag segments. But we do have a graph for them, and we do know, looking at this, that it's a function because it would pass the vertical line test. As long as they give me the graph of the function, I can find the value of the function at different values of x. So, it says at the point x equals 4 has the coordinates 4, and this is already written there, and then the y would be whatever f of 4 is. See, x is 4, the y is the value when x is 4. When I look at this graph, when x is 4, I go up, and this point would have a y value of 1, so it ends up being 4, 1. So, f of 4 equals 1. F of 2, if they give this to me, well, I go to where x is 2, because that's what this is telling me to do, and I go up and I find that red segment, and I see that that point would be where y is 4, so f of 2 equals 4. F of 6 means, hey, what's the y value when I put 6 in for x? So I go back to my graph, I find x is 6, and I go up to find that my y at that point is 2. So f of 6 equals 2. Now again, I don't have an equation for this function, but as long as I have the graph, I can find different values for y at different values for x. So 2 values for which f of x equals 1. So f of x equals 1 when, well, I'm going to go across when x is 4 and when x is about, looks like 9 1/3. So f of x equals 1 when x equals 4 and when x equals about 9 1/3. So I could write that as f of 4 equals 1 and f of 9 1/3 equals 1. Those x values give me y values of 1. Now, before you come to class, find the answers to these questions.